So the streets been saying they want an in-depth part 2 of my last Transformers video, and by streets I mean a couple people.
Nobody fucking cares.
But I am a giving man, so ask and you shall receive. I'm gonna cover all the little
intricate mechanics of different systems
about my ideal Transformers universe. So the first film, which I alluded to in the last Transformers video, cheap plug by the way, go watch that, you know what I'm saying? Now to avoid making this a Phoenix Studios link video,
I don't know what the hell you feeding him, but he is too damn big.
I might have to chop this John down into more parts. Hey, chill, bro. Chill out. Look at it like this. Y'all like my Transformers content, right? No! So, if I cut this video down...
You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
You are my sunshine.
Now let's get down to business. This film will be called Transformers United We Stand. I feel like the subtitle fits the film because ultimately the themes are going to revolve around unity, friendship, and bringing people together and all that cornball stuff. This is also kind of a free layup for me because I get to call the next one Transformers Divided We Fall because, you know, Nemesis Prime and stuff. Come on, bro. Lock in. I'm thinking on a whole nother level. I'm thinking movies ahead, bro. They not like me.
Negro, please.
Now it's time for the draft. Not that one, the robot cast. There we go. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all got to me on the last video, man. Bumblebee probably shouldn't be voiceless. It was clever when Michael Bay did it, but now it's just...
My captain.
Man, boo. Tomato, tomato, tomato. I'm throwing tomato.
He also probably shouldn't lead the film either because a lot of y'all said y'all want to see somebody different in the role.
Anybody care about what I want?
So unlike the IRL team behind Transformers, I'm gonna give you what you want. So instead of Bumblebee leading the film, Ultra Magnus is gonna step up into a leadership role with Optimus being gone. Now don't get it twisted. B is still gonna be here. But a story arc about Ultra trying to be a great leader, just like how Optimus was, is probably a more interesting dynamic. So to accommodate though, the rest of the Autobot cast will consist of Bumblebee, obviously, Ratchet, Ironhide, Leader 1, Perceptor, and also I got Jazz, the black one.
Cracking little bitches.
The Decepticon roster will look like Shockwave, Starscream, Soundwave, Knockout, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Reflector, and the Constructicons. Also Blitzwing, I kind of forgot to mention him for a second.
Irrelevant.
Now it may seem like there's a lot of robot characters, but like I said in the last video, majority of the focus is going to be on the Cybertronians. I did say that last video, right?
Yes.
Anyway, the movie opens similarly to how More Than Meets the Eye begins. The Ark crashes on Earth into the side of a volcano, and after 4 million years, volcanic activity awaits Teletran 1, which then revives Knockout, Soundwave, and gives them Earth alt modes. They leave to go find out more about the planet, and this leads the Autobots to also get revived by Teletran 1, and by Autobots, I'm referring to Ultra Magnus, Ratchet, Leader 1, and Perceptor. Also, as a little side note, I have this universe take place in current time because we haven't seen a modern day iteration of Transformers since the Bayverse, and technology is so much more crazier now. Like the concepts and ideas you could have for the Transformers is much more advanced. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
You on drugs?
But anyway, Ratchet detects an Autobot Energon reading in Washington DC. Now you may be wondering how, and unlike Bayverse, I'm going to give you an explanation.
Just wondering what you just doing with standing around.
So I talked about the Exodus briefly in the last video, but now I'm about to talk about it more. During the Exodus, a lot of the Autobots were instructed to board escape pods aboard the Ark after it lost power. Because why would you stay on a ship with no power? Are you dumb?
You just blowing from stupid town?
But obviously this separated a lot of the Autobots through different galaxies, solar systems, planets, all the space terms. The reading on Earth though is Bumblebee, who by now has become good friends with Spike and Sparkplug. He's been with them for the past few months after touching down on Earth, and they've taken care of him and vice versa. Also, I'll have Jacob Tremblay and Jake Gyllenhaal play these roles respectively because I feel like Jacob brings a youth to the film and also looks the part. And I just like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I wish I didn't have herpes, but you know, we all gotta go with what we got.
So before setting out to go regroup with Bumblebee, Ultra Magnus sends out a message to all Autobots who may be lost among the stars, and yes, that was a reference, alerting them of the exact location of planet Earth and telling them to come regroup with the others there. And from here, the movie will follow 3 different groups. These groups being the Autobots with the Wiggies, the Decepticons, and our military team, which consists of Captain Smith, who's the leader, his younger brother Jason Smith, second in command Isabella Garcia, the Brains Isaac Allen, and the Muscle Charlie Burns. And yes, the images on screen are who I cast to play these roles. This then brings us to a military base where we are introduced to those military characters, but the more important thing happening is Soundwave and Knockout raiding the base sneakily for intel on the planet. Kinda like how Blackout did in the 07 movie. The only difference is it goes way worse for Soundwave and Knockout than it does Blackout. One of the escape pods that I mentioned earlier ends up crashing near the military base, which is actually where our military team are training. This ends up killing Jason Smith, the leader's younger brother. So out of the escape pod steps Ironhide, who then gets targeted by the military and runs away, but he's not running because he can't fight the military. It's because he doesn't really want to harm humans. Eventually, he runs into Knockout and Soundwave, who are also trying to leave the base. And this gives us our first real fight of the movie. Ironhide is in a handicap match with Knockout and Soundwave, and he's actually doing good for himself. He's peeling their heads. That is until an F-15 jet sweeps in and shoots him in the back. This jet ends up being Starscream, and the three jump Ironhide before taking him back to the Nemesis, which is Crash on the dark side of the moon. That's also a reference.
That's why I'm not.
For more answers. Now the Decepticon side is where it gets interesting. Now, as you guys probably may have realized, I've been running through this quote-unquote plot really quickly because I don't want this video to be super long so that I can actually get it out in a timely manner.
WTF to that.
But for this bit right here, I'm gonna slow it down for you because it's already looking like this video is gonna be stupid long as it is, so I might as well just commit to it. Once they get to the ship, Soundwave tells Starscream and all the other Decepticons that the information he got from the base has led him to believe that Megatron or some other Cybertronian entity is trapped somewhere on Earth. This kind of creates a divide between the Decepticons who believe that Megatron should be brought back and those who didn't really like Megatron's reign and can tolerate Starscream. Keyword, tolerate. As everyone is in chaos and arguing, a portal opens where we meet our main antagonist.
Oh my god, the goddamn goat.
Shockwave steps through the portal, but he is not alone. He's flanked by Blitzwing, Reflector, and shockingly Grimlock, who's carrying a beaten down Zeta Prime.
I beg your pardon?
Bear with me now. What the fuck? It's revealed that sometime during the war, Zeta left Cybertron in search of alternate sources of energy that could power the planet. On his journey, he took all 13 artifacts of the Primes to ensure that no Decepticons ever got their hands on it after he left. But after the Exodus, this gave Shockwave a lot of free time which he and Reflector used to fully master interstellar travel using space bridge technology. After finding Zeta's location, he teleported to Zeta's ship alongside Grimlock and Blitzwing, and they basically raided the entire ship. They beat down Zeta and his crew, took all the artifacts, and also took Zeta for ransom, I guess. As for Grimlock,
Grimlock, get your noodle out of my face.
Shockwave, much like in the War and Fall of Cybertron continuity, gave Grimlock his dinosaur alt mode and powers. He tortured and experimented on Grimlock and his team and is now forcing Grimlock to work for the Decepticons, threatening to detonate a bomb that he had implanted in not only Grimlock's head but his team's heads during the experiments.
Goat.
So, to put this in perspective, Shockwave has Grimlock and Zeta Prime at his disposal, space bridge technology, and also 13 of the most powerful artifacts in Cybertronian history. He's also Shockwave.
Stop sucking these niggas' dick.
So automatically, this is probably the most powerful character we've seen in the Transformers franchise. So like the alpha he is, he comes in and basically immediately takes control of the Decepticons, which obviously pisses Starscream off. He tries to sneak attack Shockwave, but is stopped by Grimlock. And the only way Starscream survives is because Shockwave tells Grimlock that the Decepticons don't have the numbers advantage anymore. They need all the help they can get. So Shockwave basically spares Starscream's life. But he also instructs Grimlock to keep close watch over Starscream. So Grimlock basically becomes Starscream's pops. Shockwave then instructs the Decepticons that they can not only retrieve Megatron, but also use one of the artifacts known as the Energon Harvester on Earth to kill two birds with one stone. So after Shockwave hijacks the movie with his mere presence, he then goes to interrogate Ironhide. What Shockwave and the others don't know, however, is that Ironhide is recording his audio and sending it to the Autobots so that they can learn of the Decepticons' plans. So Shockwave interrogates Ironhide and accidentally gives up vital information, but after he realizes that Ironhide isn't going to give him any info on the Autobots, he raises his gun and gets ready to shoot Ironhide, but stops. He looks over at Grimlock and commands Grimlock to kill Ironhide. Grimlock obviously initially refuses, but Shockwave flashes the detonator once more, giving Grimlock no choice. So Grimlock takes his Energon sword and slices Ironhide in half before saying to him he's sorry. Yeah, somebody lock Shockwave up. This is a sick man with sick thoughts.
I think niggas like him should die.
This scene is so disturbing that even the Decepticons cringe and look away. This brings us back to our Autobot cast, Ultra Magnus in particular, who then hears this over the audio or comlink or whatever.
From Stupid Town?
He immediately takes the blame because if he hadn't sent that message to the Autobots, Ironhide wouldn't have been in this position to begin with. So now if you realize there are multiple different story beats that I've hit in this little 10-minute video. The Decepticons are in the midst of a power struggle between Starscream and Shockwave. Our military team has to cope with the loss of a teammate and family member while piecing together what's really going on and what's more to come. And Ultra is struggling with leadership, living in Optimus' shadow. Now, obviously, I didn't get to touch on all the stuff that I want to, but like I said like 3 times at this point, this video can't be too long, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. You can consider this act 1, and I feel like I covered majority of the major plot points here. So in the next video, if you guys show some love on this one, please. By the way, thank you guys for showing so much love on the last video too, bro. I'm so
Going from Stupid Town?
I literally can't even think of what to say like off the top of my head, but thank you. So if you want part 2 or 3 at this point to this series, go crazy in the comments, like this John up, sub, you know, and I'll bring it to you as fast as I can. I can't guarantee nothing, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little ideas, and leave your ideas for a part 2 or your own series in the comments below. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time.